All right, everybody. Here we go. Wow, look at that. Man, oh, man. Oh, keep it going.
You're big time, man.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you've been sending us your questions, and tonight I answer them for you, and it's good to have you back, all right? Question 1 from Sam in Avon Lake. Hey, Jimmy, I was wondering what your thoughts were on the Cleveland Browns for changing the name from First Energy Stadium to Cleveland Browns Stadium. Well, the First Energy thing was a bit of a problem because of a legal issue there, obviously. Here's the thing I remember, and perhaps you all remember this too. When Al Lerner got the team back in 1999, he did not take on any naming rights, nor would he allow any naming rights at the stadium. It was Cleveland Browns Stadium because he was all about bringing the team back, having the same colors, no emblem on the helmet, okay, and the name of the stadium would be Cleveland Browns Stadium. And I liked that, I really did. Now, do I think it's gonna stick? Absolutely not, okay, because it's a lot of money, and every team does it, okay? For instance, I mean, down in Cincinnati, they changed, right, from Paul Brown Stadium to Paycor Stadium. They've changed the name of Heinz Field over in Pittsburgh, and I'm sure the Browns are out there in the bidding process right now for somebody else to corporately come in and have the naming rights to the stadium. But while we have it, it is Cleveland Browns Stadium, and I always thought that was pretty cool that Al Lerner had it that way. Next question, Brian from Columbia Station writes in and asks, hey, Jimmy, how do you feel about the Browns spending the first week of training camp in West Virginia? Well, as the old John Denver song goes, you know, West Virginia, I'll tell you what. Anyway, I think it's the new way of doing things, and I think the Browns last year took a look at what the Philadelphia Eagles did. Okay, and they were a part of that. Now, if you remember, right in the middle of training camp, the Philadelphia Eagles came to Berea, and they worked out against the Browns, and then at the end of the workouts, they had their preseason game down at the stadium. And then the Eagles left Cleveland, okay, and went home for a day, and then they did the same thing the next week. They went to Miami. And they wanted to get out of the whole Philadelphia thing, and it really worked for them. They really bonded. And teams that have done this feel that you bond a little bit better when you're together, because it's not like the old days of training camp where the team would stay in a hotel away from home. Nowadays, they go home. If you're a veteran and you have a home, you go back and forth to work. So you're not really confined like you were in the old days of training camp. So I think the Browns are taking a look at, hey, let's do it a little bit differently. Plus, there's a lot of construction going on at their site out in Berea, and that might be part of it too. But we'll see if it works. They feel it's good. They feel they can really come together a little bit more as a team by just being together as a team. And then they'll come back and they'll practice in front of all of you for a certain amount of times. Next question, please. Pete in Oberlin. Hey, Jimmy, the Guardians are so painful to watch. Any chance they package some of their abundant pitching prospects and get a proven bat soon? I know where you're coming from, okay? I mean, they could take batting practice in a hotel lobby and do no damage. That's the way it's been going so far. I think first of all, they cherish that pitching, and they have so much of it. It's coming out of their ears, all right? I mean, it's an abundance of pitching, and they have much more than anybody else does. So they could do what you want them to do or what you're insinuating they should do about getting another bat. But I think right now they are not going to push the panic button. I think they really feel down deep we can win this division. At some point, we're going to start to hit a little bit more. The weather's turning, and we're going to hit. We're going to hit. We're not going to overtake everybody offensively, but we're going to hit enough married with that pitching that we'll be okay. Now, if it goes deeper into the summer and the division is still winnable, but they're not there, yeah, I think then when the trading deadline would come up in late July, then yeah, I think they could go out and get a bat, which they might do anyway. But to give up all that pitching or to give up any of that pitching, that is very, very tough for them to do. Great questions tonight. That is all for this edition of Hey Jimmy. Make sure you send in your questions, and we'll take another crack at it coming up next week.
You citing John Denver. I wanted to hear you say Mountain Mama.
Mountain Mama.
There you go.
We only give people snippets of songs here. Last night, a little Sweet Caroline, and now a little John Denver.
Love you, Jimmy.